one big take for me from this episode with Kateryna is how everybody's journey is different. It is, honestly. I know we all, you hear the advice. It seems like it's the same thing. Everyone says just do X. But you need to always consider whoever is advising you, what's their context? Where are they coming from? So whenever someone says to you, I did X, so you have to do Y. You have to do X or Y like me. No. You take the lessons, you take the themes, and then you apply it to yourself. But yeah, let's get into the episode with Kateryna and see how she applies. She's moved over 4 or 5 countries. Let's see how she applies that to herself. Today with me, I have Kateryna. Hi, how's it going, Kateryna?
Oh, it's fine. How are you?
I'm all right. It's good to have you here. Kateryna, you left your home country when you were 16.
Yeah, right.
I I actually just want to ask you, like, how did it feel, like when you got on the plane and the plane took off? Like, how did it feel?
Well, it was almost 10 years ago, but mm, okay, so first time I moved as a student.
Hmm.
It was like other feelings, and I was like almost baby. So I didn't like I was super exciting. I was, oh my God, I'm going to new country. I'm going to be alone. I will make new friends. I think that I'm kind of risky person, like I like adventures. So I was like, oh wow, new country. I moved my first country where I moved, it was Poland.
Okay.
And after I stayed there 1 year and a half and I moved to France. So I did my bachelor in France, and I had a particular program where I supposed to do for internship in different countries, and that's why I always moved. Like I've been living in New York, in Portugal, in Luxembourg, in Italy, I've been working in UK. So it's like I traveled a lot. So I don't know, like also been living in a lot of countries. So with time you just get used to that. I think I get used to that. I don't know.
Like, so when you move across these countries, like, how does, like, is there like a settling down process, or for you it's just like, oh yeah, it's another move again?
Okay, so it's like, there are different stages of your life. So when I was student, it was like, oh, that's fun, I'm going to new country. I will meet some new people. We had like in Europe, there are like big Erasmus community, and
Mhm.
I met a lot of friends all around the world. So it was fun. After I start to live in Italy, I'm Italian residence, like been Italian residence for 4 years. So I already start to be more stable there. I found some jobs there. So it was like I've stayed there more than 2 years. So for me, it's long period. And after that, I moved to US again. I've been working in Pennsylvania for 1 year. So when I moved to US again, it was already like other feelings, because I was like, okay, now I need to plan everything. So how I go in there, okay, what I'm going to do, like how much I can save there, what is the long like lease. But when I was like young and student, I didn't care about that so much, like, oh, okay, I will have some rooms, it's great, we will share with my friends, we will have a lots of fun, I'm going to Portugal, it's so cheap. So it was like, the other reality. Now when I moved to US, after I moved to Canada, so it's like other feelings, because you start to think more rational. You understand why you go, why, like what you like about the country. So for example, about Canada, yeah, it was like I think that I evaluated everything, like the social systems, the bureaucracy aspect, the insurance, the medical service, the childcare, like every aspect. I was thinking, okay, Italy, US, Canada, what is like, who is wins, like that's how it was when I moved to Canada. So I already like traveled so much that I realized when why I'm moving to this country.
um, and has it ever felt overwhelming at any point, or like it's like because you've done a lot of traveling, and I assume that as which each trip does it get easier, or does the overwhelm, or does it
Yeah,
ever feel overwhelming?
it gets a bit like I visited 54 countries like tourist. Yeah, I've been in 54 countries, but I when I'm moving, I'm like when I tell that I was living somewhere, is I mean that I've been staying in one country more than 6 months. So that's what I mean. So yeah, when you the France, it was I think that it was the most difficult country to move because they are like they don't want to speak in English with you. I didn't know France. The bureaucracy more like the bureaucracy in general is very difficult there. So after France, like all other countries, it was like, oh okay, take it easy, like just relax, everything will come. So yeah, France it was crazy, but after yeah, it's become easier because like which steps you need to do. My mother, she jokes with me that I'm collecting social uh, um oh my god, social security numbers.
Numbers.
Yeah, because I have it like right now with Ukrainian, I have five social security numbers from different countries. So she's telling, oh, so you are like collecting them, people collecting marks or something, but I'm collecting that. Yeah, it's funny, but yeah, already, you are like you have like this automation mode in your brain, I think, and you're like, okay, I came here, so now I need to go to the bank. Okay, I need to go there, I need to do the exam. Okay, so I done it. So now I need to meet these people, I need to go to this networking. Okay, now I have here new friends. So it's become like your routine, basically. You know already which steps you need to do. So for example, when I moved to Canada, it was the same. I was like, okay, so I even didn't wanted to listen to somebody by purpose, because I know that there are lots of people who are experts and they are telling you something based on them experience, but this experience not always like relevant to you. So you need always like do it by yourself, even if they tell you no, this is not possible. No, no way, you need to start from there. No, it takes so long. You just, oh, okay, okay, yeah, great, I know your experience right now, it's valuable for me, but I will do like my journey. So it's not like it's not connected with my reality, something like that, I would tell. So yeah, and when I moved to Canada, I already like had the list to do. And my bank account actually I opened in 20 minutes when I landed in airport of Toronto. So when I was go out, I did my bank account. I opened my credit card just in airport. So it was like, okay, I need to make my credit score, high, because after I need to rent the apartment, everything was planned, everything. So yeah,
That's a cool, and I really like the point you make about um, understanding that everybody's journey is different. Like the experiences might look similar, but the journey is different. So, and people tend to say things based off, oh, this is what I did, and so you should do that. But it doesn't exactly work like that. Like, so it's important to be able to take that advice and say, okay, you did X, and maybe I can adjust it this way, but this is how to approach it. I was going to ask you a question around. So you visited 54 countries as a tourist.
54, yeah.
What's the difference between when you're visiting and when you're living in the country? Like, is there a difference? Like, is there a different mentality or mental
Yeah,
shift?
sure. Like when I visit the country, I like, oh my god, I would like to live here. Oh my god, this is amazing country. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. But when I start to live in there, you are like, oh no, like it's not what I expected. It's too different because in general, it's not only about country. You can even live, I don't know, in Canada and go to Vancouver. You can live in Toronto and you can go to Vancouver and you will think, oh my god, so amazing! Wow, these people are so chill here. The vibe is so great. But when you move in there, you realize that, oh my god, like I'm working and I even don't see that chill, and I even can't like I don't know, can belong anywhere. So that's what a difference, because when you are in, because I'm psychologist, so I understand very well how like immigration process working from the psychological way. And how, like, when you only move your first months, how is important for your, like, which influence it have if you will like that place or if you won't like that place. So basically, if you move somewhere and you're already in the mood of vacation, and you say, oh, okay, I'm going to rock the city, yeah, you are like, you will enjoy just because you give it from yourself. You know what I mean? It
Mhm.
doesn't matter what is going on there. For example, it will be, I don't know, bad weather, or somebody, like in New York, for example. I'm right now in New York. So somebody, like, I don't know, shooting in neighborhoods. Like, I'm like, okay, it happens, but I'm going to move out from here. But New York, this is in New York, so great atmosphere, so great city. But it's the other way if you are leaving. So you are like, oh my God, now it's again, I can sleep. Oh, tomorrow I need to go to the job. But there is like, I don't know, metro doesn't work, and so on and so forth. So it's like different. It's very different. But the same about moving somewhere. So, for example, if you are preparing to move in somewhere, I always recommend that, like, the first month is the crucial. So just go somewhere, just like go to networking, go around, try to put yourself in that condition, do all that you will love that city, because it's very, like, it's very this tiny point where you will realize, oh no, I don't like it. It's just because you surrounded yourself by the people or by the condition that you like, that you don't enjoy that place. But after you can come, like, after, I don't know, 1 year, like a tourist, and you will say, oh my God, I even haven't seen all these things. So the first months, I also, for myself, I was like, when I moved to Canada, I stayed 1 week in Brampton, and after, I just booked apartment near Keniston Market, because I loved that area near University of Toronto. And I was thinking, okay, yeah, I'm going to pay a little bit more, but I want to stay there in this place, because that's how I will fall in love in this city. And that's what happens. Like, I went there, I was in the middle of everything. This, like, a little bit um a little bit like gypsy vibe of Keniston Market. I loved that because it's like my vibe, and it's just how I did it. Like, not that, that the city need to give me, but how I acted to just like that.
So what I hear you say to me is that to get immigration right, like it's a mix of you have to give as much as you're expecting the city to give to you. If you don't invest in the city, then you're always going to say, "Oh no, oh I shouldn't have, or I shouldn't have done this, oh it's not fun." But yeah, if you don't put in time to understand or invest in the city in your own way, you'll struggle.
Yeah, exactly.
St- yeah, staying on the point of psychology. Now, if we think about it from a psychological point of view, how would how would you how would you if you think of do you think that having a community is important for someone who's moving into a new country?
Yeah, I think it's very important, but it's important to don't, like, not belong, but don't surround it you only by one particular community. What I mean is, when you, like, when we move in somewhere, yeah, we're trying to find the people from our country of origin. Like, for example, all Ukrainian, trying to find Ukrainian people, like Ukrainian community, yeah, and like hang out with them. But I I don't use it very much. I prefer, like, to stay in different communities. Like, I mean, I'm very open person, so I'm trying to understand also different cultures, like different people, different communities. So it's, yeah, it's very important. But because if you will belong only to one community, like, for example, in my case, if I need to connect myself only with Ukrainians, I already limited myself too much. You know what I mean? And yeah, and it's the same about what I told before, what I mentioned, yes, is about reality, because there are, like, a lots of people who did that passes because they belong into that community. But if you are going, for example, I don't know, to other, like, to Asian onto Indian, or to you speak with Canadian. That's what I used to do a lot. So when I've been in Canada, I always try to find some Canadian person who already, like, done everything, like, or who is living there for a long time, or who was born there, and they like looking for the same things from the different perspectives. So like, oh, okay, no, don't worry. Like, for example, in my case, it was about license in psychology. Like, all people from my community, they told, oh no, you need like around 5 years to get the license in psychology. But I went to one networking, I met there people from India and from, oh, I don't remember where it was, from other girl, like, but they are almost like Canadian, and they told, oh no, do you know there is existing this BRAM program? You can just get it like in 2 years, in 1 year, and like if you are connecting yourself with other communities, you can see more wide on the possibilities.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, and it's not easy, but I agree it's important to do that as an immigrant. And then also, I feel like it becomes an advantage for you because then your worldview is much wider because you're coming from a different world or a
Yeah.
different culture into a new culture. And then you're also making an extra effort to not just assimilate into that culture you're in, but like who are other people who are like you, who are all immigrants, who all have different worldviews, and just taking all that in means you come out a much better person. Now, just thinking about all these countries you've moved to, has there ever been any point where you're like, oh, I regret coming to this country? Like, have you ever regretted any of the countries you've visited as an immigrant, not as a tourist?
Did I regret it or
Yeah,
what?
have you ever regretted any of the countries you visited as an immigrant, not as a tourist? I mean, not among the 54 countries, like the ones you've lived in.
So you mean that one country that I moved to and after I regret that I moved there?
Yeah,
Actually, I don't have that country because, okay, first, when I was student, it was like, oh, okay, it's new experience, it's fun. Whatever you send me, I don't know, it will be like Africa, Australia, Asia. Oh wow, that's nice. But after that, like, I mean, no, it was like good experience. Yeah, I had some challenges. I had a lot of challenges, especially in France. It was crazy hard. Like, it was, I think, I don't know how I survived there, but actually it was amazing experience because it's what make you stronger, and you start to, now I'm noticing that I started to have some habits from them. It's like you don't realize it from the, like, you don't realize it when you're in that country, but when you move out, you're like, oh, okay, but why I do it, but why I like it. Like, I see, for example, here people don't do that, and I was like, oh, okay, that's because I've been living there. The same about Italy. Like, for example, I never order like cappuccino with a meal or something like that. And for me, when I moved, it was strange, but now I like, oh no, I can do that. So it's like, it's the influence, and you just take for yourself what what I think you take for yourself what you like the most about country, and this is funny because it's what after how you become.
yeah, that's a strong point. Now, can you talk a bit more about those challenges, your biggest challenges, especially with in France? Can you talk a bit about that?
Oh yeah. So first of all, is like, it's not like in Canada that everyone want to help you. Yeah, I remember when I moved to Canada, I was like, oh my god, what is going on? Like, where is the hink? Why everyone want to help me so much? But when I was living in France, like, nobody don't care about you so much. So like, it was really like, okay, so if I want to open the bank, everything by post. You need to do everything by post. You need to write the letter, like actually write a letter and send to them, like, request, and to do this request for your credit card, for SIM card, for Wi-Fi, for everything. And the post is working so bad and it's so difficult. So for example, if you don't have bank account, you can't make the insurance for your flat. If you can't make the insurance for your flat, you can have the flat. And you see, it's like round and round and round. And it was like, and what's the most crazy, the craziest thing that I faced in France, it was like when I go in somewhere in bank, or I'm going like to like some social services or something like that where I need help. They tell, oh, okay, yeah, you can talk to us in English, but we won't respond to you in English. We will respond to you in France. And I was like, and I was so mad.
Are you serious?
Yeah, yeah, I'm serious. This is how it's working.
Wow.
So that's why I told you that after France is like every other country is like.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like after that, like you can face anything.
Yeah, but also like how they, because France is not so, it's not the country based on the expats. It's the other thing is like they are very cultural, and they are very um, like, I don't know, it's not easy to also make friendship with them, but it's okay, like, but all like if you are going somewhere uh, where they like, I'm going to bank, I give you my money, so you should be interested in me. And no, they're like, oh my god, you came here, okay, so I don't care. If you need to like study French and after talk to me, like, and this is crazy because like, come on, I'm going to you because I'm giving my money, but they don't care, like, and it's so funny as well, like from psychological point of view.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a funny thing to think about. Like, and it's a I feel like it's a really hard thing to get over as someone who's trying to settle into a new country. You're like, it's a struggle. It can be a struggle.
yeah.
So I'm going to go back to the first night you moved out. You moved to Poland. Like, how was your first night? What did the first night feel like? I mean, I know you already said you were a bit excited, but can you just walk me through the first night? Because I feel
Oh,
and I would actually challenge you to do this for me. Like, walk me through your first night as a student and your first night as when you now moved as someone who was working. Because like I feel like you've had like a mental shift from just being a student to someone who's not working and moving across countries. So what's the difference between your first nights in those two scenarios?
okay, my first time when I moved to Poland, it was like, I don't know, I was like so young, so little. I was like, oh, I miss my family. I need to stay here. I need to find friends. But okay, but at the same time, oh, okay. I don't remember even what I was thinking. I think that I was a little bit nervous that what is going to happen with me, because also the university like started and everything together. But at the same, this feeling of freedom, that you are young and you are in big city. I've been living in Warsaw, and yeah, I think that it was like I was nervous and excited at the same time. But when I moved to Canada, what it was like, oh my god, I wanted sleep so much. I was like, I had jet lag, and I was thinking, oh my god, just where is my bed? I don't care about anything. Like, because like when I landed in the airport, everyone wanted to help, and everyone was like, oh my god, you have to do this. You can do like the social security number right here. Like, oh, okay, I will do that. After, oh, you can open bank account. Oh, okay, I will do that. And at the end, I was just like, I think that my brain was like in standby mode. I couldn't understand anything, and I was like, "Just where is my bed? I don't care anymore. Just I need to sleep, and that's it." So yeah, that's how was my first night in Canada. I just slept, I think, 13 hours, and that's it.
Like I can imagine that difference between both scenarios. Like, oh yeah, yeah, I'm just excited. I'm out of home for the first time. I want to just have fun between two. Oh yeah, I just want to sleep. I'm tired. I've had a long flight. I just give me a bed. We can talk about all that in the morning. I think the last question I have for you is, in hindsight, is there anything you'd have done differently if you think about your journey so far, moving across all these countries, living in these different countries? Is there
Mhm.
anything you'd have done differently, or you think that no?
If the things is going differently in different
N-
countries.
No, I said if you think about your journey all through so far, like moving across from Poland, you've lived in France, you stayed in Portugal, I think, you've lived in the US, you lived in Canada. Like, is there anything you'd have done differently? Or is there any way you'd have approached your immigration journey differently?
Yeah, I mean, in Canada, I approach it differently because, mm, well, I moved there for the job, but I know where I should focus on. I want to be a psychologist there. Like, I want to get my license, but I have also my training. It's like patented training in US called the game. So I was like already focused on promoting that. So I I went to different networking events that I didn't make in another country. Like I went, I think in 2 months I visited like maybe 14 networking events, and that's how I found like my job, my partners in Canada. So it was very different because I already know why I came there and what I should do, and not like because when I moved to US I was like, oh okay, so I haven't like I had the job, like I was like employed by the company, by the university. But here in Canada, I know that I want to be like entrepreneur. I want to work for myself, and it was very different because I just realized that for do that I need a lot of connections. I need people, and so that's how I created a big circle of people around me in Toronto. I also did one networking event by myself with 30 people, and it was great from different. That's where I met Anna, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was like when you move already as adult, I can tell like that is always different. But yeah, but still the steps, like I mean, mm, mm, social steps, bureaucratic steps is the same because you still need your like social security number, you still need like do your insurance, you still need to go to the doctors, you still need to like find apartment that in Toronto. Oh my god, it's crazy to find the apartment in Toronto. That was the hardest thing I think. But yeah, but that but I think it's going from you. Like if you are coming like student, you have one way. If you are like if you want to open your business, is like you have different paths. If you like just want to find the job, is even I think is even more complicated. I don't know why, but yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Katerina. Like this has been pretty good. And thanks for being so honest and authentic with your experience and what you've gone through the past. So you moved like 10 years ago now, right? Like this, no, not 10 years. You moved 2016 first, right?
Yeah.
2015. Yeah, so that's like about
2000, yeah, I moved 2015, so it's like 8 years now.
8 years. Yeah, 8 years. Well, that's a while. Like that's a while. Like, and you've oh shit, that's some journey. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for coming to Newcomers podcast. And have a great one.
Thank you so much, really, to host me today. It
Thank you.
was great to talk with you.
That was a really fun interview for me, to be honest, and I hope you enjoyed it too. Thank you so much, everyone. Like, thank you. And have a beautiful one. Again, as usual, as always, please share. Please share, like. We're on YouTube, we're on Substack, on Apple Podcasts. I mean, anywhere you get your podcast. So please give us a follow, share with someone who might find it useful, and have a beautiful day.